Welcome to Lyric Lab Poetry. My name is Martin Jago, and in this video we're going to look at common mistakes that emerging poets make and how to fix them. And not just emerging poets, I hasten to add. So please keep watching and we'll get started right now. So we've all written a poem that at the time of writing we thought was a towering work, a staggering work of genius. And then later we've realized it's just drivel. And it happens to the very best of us. And so don't worry, it's a natural part of the process. And that's why writing is editing and revising is very important. But there are, I've noticed over the years, some very common mistakes that emerging poets tend to make. And we're going to address those. And I'm going to give you 5 key mistakes that I think are really worth our attention. The first one is writing only when you are inspired, waiting for that bolt of lightning, for the poetic muse to strike you, and then you sit down at your laptop and write your poem. Now, here's the thing, waiting for inspiration, as I said in another video recently, it can be a really long wait. It's much better just to get started, and the action of writing will allow inspiration into your poetry. It's much better to have a habitual daily practice of writing at a certain time, at a certain place, just to get into the habit of allowing or giving permission to your creative inner poet to come out. So that's the first mistake, making sure that instead of waiting for inspiration, you are writing so that inspiration can come. The second mistake is, again, a very common one. It is over-explaining in your poem, not trusting your reader, and not allowing the imagery in your poetry to do the heavy lifting. Mistake number 3 is forcing rhyme and using cliches in your writing. The thing about rhyme, if you do use rhyme in a poem, you have to kind of ignore the fact that the word rhymes. It has to be the absolute right word for that line that also happens to rhyme with the word that you want it to rhyme with. That's a really difficult thing to get right. I appreciate that, but there's nothing worse than seeing a word that has just been shoehorned into a poem's line simply because it's going to rhyme and fit the rhyme scheme. Cliche, of course, is another thing we want to avoid like the plague. You see what I did there? Mistake number 4 is avoiding revision. You should think about your starting place, your draft, as the raw clay from which you will eventually mold and shape this beautiful object, this beautiful piece of art. Do not walk away from the first draft congratulating yourself that all the hard work's done. Editing is writing. It's a cliche. It's also a truism. The 5th and final mistake is writing in a vacuum. You really want to be reading as widely as you possibly can. Know how and where your work sits in the contemporary literary magazine scene and in the field of contemporary poetry. So to round up, the truth is that these mistakes are perfectly normal and perfectly natural. It's important that we recognize them and then learn and grow from them. Every poet cringes at their earlier work. I think that just means that the poet is growing. I'm curious to know which of these 5 mistakes hit home for you. Which is the one that you find yourself or have found yourself in the past making, and how did you fix that, or how is the process of fixing it going? Please do share your thoughts and reflections in the comments below. And if you enjoyed the video, of course, please do share and subscribe and like the videos. It really helps the channel to grow. And of course, I will be back very soon with more poetry content. Thanks for watching.